The brutal murder of 5 prostitutes in London's East End in 1888 remains one of the most intriguing mysteries in criminal history. Still, even more than a century later, the identity of the killer remains an enigma. Many theories have been proposed, but none have been proven. Over the years, investigators have employed cutting-edge forensic techniques to unravel the truth behind these gruesome murders. But the notorious serial killer remains at large, and his or her identity shrouded in secrecy. Welcome back, everybody. This is Kronos, and in today's episode, we're going to look into the terror of Whitechapel, the unknown serial killer known as Jack the Ripper. Despite the close proximity of the elegant West End, London's East End remained an unknown and miserable area. Whitechapel, in particular, was plagued with poverty, disease, alcoholism, and prostitution. Its labyrinth-like streets and alleys were rancid and flooded with the putrid waters of the River Thames. The overcrowded houses seemed to threaten anyone who ventured to walk through its gloomy streets. Whitechapel was the part of London that everyone preferred not to see. But in the autumn of 1888, Whitechapel became the sinister setting of the murders committed by Jack the Ripper. This dark character drew the attention of all of England to the infamous slum that had been ignored for so long. Though perhaps not the deadliest, Jack was undoubtedly one of the most vicious and well-known killers. His legend continues to evoke the fear that only footsteps in the dark or the sudden gleam of a knife on a lonely street can create. The legend of Jack the Ripper may have been perpetuated over the years because his identity was never revealed, but also because the Whitechapel murders shook the Victorian society and revealed a humbled and destitute Great Britain. But these reasons are not enough to explain why, more than 125 years later, the figure of Jack the Ripper still continues to fascinate so many people. Books and magazines dedicated to studying his profile continue to be published, and investigations into his true identity generate new theories and hypotheses every few months. Why does he still hold such intrigue? The answer is simple. If Jack the Ripper had been captured, he would be of little interest to us now. However, the truth is that we know very little about him, and nothing for sure. It's no wonder that new theories about his identity keep emerging, ranging from members of royalty to simple city workers. This fascination has even spawned a field of study known as Ripperology, which exists somewhere between science and speculation. What do we know about Jack the Ripper? It is known with certainty that Jack the Ripper committed several murders, but there is no consensus on the exact number of his victims. In fact, his crimes are only part of 11 Whitechapel murders that took place during that time. The most prestigious investigators limit Jack the Ripper's victims to 5, all of them prostitutes: Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Idowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. It has been established that Jack the Ripper acted during a very brief period, from late August to mid-November, in a span of just 70 days. During this period, he committed abominable crimes that caused fear and panic throughout the city. His murders took place after the closure of pubs, and all of his victims were from the lower class. They lived near each other, no more than a quarter-mile away, and they were all killed in the same way. Jack the Ripper's MO was unbelievably cruel and marked by extreme violence towards his victims. He would typically start by slicing their throats with a single slash, and then opening their abdominal cavity with a knife. In some cases, he would even go as far as removing organs, such as a kidney, as some kind of twisted, sinister trophy. The forensic description of the bodies is bone-chilling and can still send shivers down the spine of even the bravest of men. The organs were found in various places: the uterus and kidneys under the head, the other breast next to the right foot, the liver next to the feet, the intestines next to his right side. The heart was missing from the pericardial sac. An intriguing theory. In conclusion, Jack the Ripper remains an enigma that continues to puzzle experts to this day. That's why I want to bring to you a very intriguing theory. But we must emphasize that this is just a theory. However, it could be considered responsible speculation. The theory proposes that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the mastermind behind Sherlock Holmes, is responsible for the heinous murders. Though this notion had already been circulating on some blogs, the book by Spanish graphologist Jesus Delgado provides additional clues and insights. The investigator focuses on the connection to the infamous letter from hell, which was sent along with a piece of human kidney. While the other letters were attributed to pranksters or columnists seeking to boost their sales, the letter from hell is deemed authentic. Delgado establishes that the handwriting in the letter matches that of Arthur Conan Doyle's. The essayist stresses that the murderer aimed to profit from his actions, and Doyle benefited from the residents and public panic. The beginning of his career as a writer exploded as Sherlock Holmes's stories were eagerly devoured, offering resolutions to mysteries unlike real life. Moreover, it is believed that Doyle could have been the killer due to childhood traumas. For instance, his father's alcoholism and his mother's promiscuity may have caused him to develop resentment towards women. He was even present in the investigations, suggesting that the culprit could be a woman instead of a man to mislead police. There is also a curious fact about his most celebrated work, The Hound of the Baskervilles, which was not written by him, but by a friend whose wife was Arthur's mistress. This person passed away overnight in 1888, and Doyle signed the death certificate, raising many suspicions. Although Sir Arthur was an ophthalmologist, he was also a surgeon, and the precise cuts found on the Ripper's victims point to an expert hand. Despite not living in the area, he managed to escape using the railway tracks or the sewers. Although numerous questions remain unanswered, the theory that Doyle was the killer remains an intriguing possibility. And that's the intriguing theory about Sir Arthur Conan Doyle as potentially being Jack the Ripper. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.